So the Trans-Siberian adventure across Russia has well and truly begun. Or sort of. Welcome to Nizhny Novgorod, the Russian city that I had never heard of and had no plans in visiting, but it was the only train heading east out of Moscow that we could catch. Big cities, they are just not for me, so it is time to leave Moscow, and this is what a $20 5-hour train across Russia looks like in 2025. The semi-express to Nizhny Novgorod. It took about 5 hours on the train from Moscow to get here, and we found out that it's actually apparently the city where foreigners, expats from all around the world are moving to, which doesn't make much sense, does it? How many foreigners do you know that want to move to Russia in 2025? It was actually a closed city back during the Soviet Union, formerly known as Gorky, and foreigners were unable to visit. But we have the next 48 hours to explore the Russian city you have never heard of, Nizhny Novgorod.
At the moment, I can't quite see why loads of foreigners and expats are actually moving to old Nizhny Novgorod. We're staying outside of the city centre. This is more of a residential area. Our hotel was around £30 a night, and it really doesn't match the rest of these properties on the street. I'd say it's definitely a little bit rough around the edges, and you do find some very interesting characters when you walk the streets.
There's a lot of markets with old babushkas trying to make a quick buck, abandoned buildings, rubbish, graffiti, things I haven't seen in other Russian cities. Nizhny Novgorod, believe it or not, actually has a metro system. So we're going to take the metro into the centre, modern part of the city, and see what life's like. So let's try out the Nizhny Novgorod metro. Look at this. For the first time.
It's definitely not as deep as the metros in St. Petersburg and Moscow, and it smells of
it does stink.
Petrol. Like, it really smells. I think there must be an eternal flame somewhere, but I believe that there's 2 lines and around 20 or so stations. We happen to have one right near our hotel, so we're not going to get lost.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте. 2 билет, пожалуйста. Спасибо. I think it's 40 rubles for one ticket, for both of us. I think that's not too bad, is it? 40 cents, that's definitely cheaper than the Moscow metro and the St. Petersburg metro. Spasibo. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's just a piece of paper. I believe it looks like you're going to have to scan this QR code.
This is crazy. There's not one person here at the metro station. It's like a ghost metro compared to what you get. Compared to what you get in Moscow and St. Petersburg, with hundreds of thousands of people commuting each day. Oh, this is cool. Even here in Nizhny Novgorod, it has like a Soviet mosaic as you head down to the platform.
It's refreshing to not have such a busy metro. We only have one stop, and as you can see, it's not.
There's actually only 4 stops on this line.
Oh yeah, the blue line is very, very short.
What a difference one stop on the metro makes. It feels like we're in a completely different city. It's clean, it's modern, it's historical, there aren't crazy people hanging around, but I was very impressed, you know, with the Nizhny Novgorod metro. 40 cents for a ride, and it was actually built back in 1985. I still can't believe that this random Russian city of more than 1 million people that none of us back home have even heard of has a metro. But we have made it to Gorky Park, and this is the statue of Gorky. He was a Soviet writer that was born in the city and was traveling around and was invited back by the man himself, Joseph Stalin, in 1932, and they named the city after him up until 1990, when it was changed to what it is today.
We are actually now just walking down the main pedestrian street, and I have to be honest, it does feel like a dystopian society. It's very hard to explain, but just a few weeks ago there was actually drone strikes that hit an oil factory, an oil plantation here, and that is only a few kilometers outside of where we're standing right now. And as you can see,
it feels so normal.
It feels so normal. We've had this throughout our trip in Russia, you know, just outside of the cities there's things going on, and it just feels weird to be able to walk down the main pedestrian street, have all the bars and restaurants open, while a few kilometers away there's drone strikes.
I have never known a country with such an obsession of statues. In Russia, they all have a statue of absolutely blooming anything. And here in Nizhny Novgorod, they have a statue of a Soviet wartime postman. I think you're meant to... I'm rubbing his chest, that's a bit strange. In Russia, you're supposed to rub the statues, and I like this because I used to be a postman, and I think there should be statues of postmen everywhere. They deserve a lot more recognition.
There's definitely a more European feel or style to this part of the city, but one thing I just cannot get my head around is the whole statue thing. Like, they rub the statue so much for good luck that they go gold. Look, his little toes have gone gold and so's his hand, so I'm gonna rub it.
Could you rub the postman?
Make a wish. No, because the postman wasn't made of bronze.
Did you see where they rubbed on the postman?
Yeah. Why? Why would you do that?
I'll tell you one thing that is impressive in Nizhny Novgorod. That behind me is one of the old banks. The architecture is absolutely stunning. You'll also notice while walking around on the streets that we're not the only people speaking English. This is a bit of a university city, and I believe up to 70 different nationalities have come to the universities and now call Nizhny Novgorod home. So us walking around speaking English to a camera isn't weird for once, which is actually quite strange. Like, in the last 5 minutes, 2 or 3 different people have walked past speaking English. Speaking of English, we're still walking along the main pedestrian street, and there is only a Union Jack blooming bar. What is Nizhny Novgorod's obsession with the United Kingdom? Like, we've been on the road now for 6 weeks, in Russia for 3. Sometimes you start to miss home a little bit. So I am definitely going in Nizhny Novgorod's English pub.
I also just love looking at the menu to sort of see what they classify as English. They've done quite well. You have shepherd's pie, so mincemeat, mashed potatoes, you've got an English breakfast. And then
I thought this would be gone. I thought they would remove this right now.
Yeah, it's random, isn't it? But who doesn't love an English pub?
That's for sure.
Where do you want to sit? Over here?
I'm not going to pretend that Nizhny Novgorod is the world's greatest city, but it just got a little bit better. A British pub, you've got Shakespeare, you've got the British Bulldog, and you've got a black sheep Irish stout.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is actually from Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, it says Irish.
I know, but it's an Irish black stout from Yorkshire.
We're in an English-Irish pub in Nizhny Novgorod.
It's good as well.
Russia's greatest bar. If you're ever in doubt, find yourself an English pub. You really can't go wrong. But it's funny, isn't it? When we think of Europe or big European cities, we think of London, we think of Paris, we might think of Berlin. We don't think of Nizhny Novgorod. You're not taught in schools about the European city of Nizhny Novgorod, but this city has a higher population than some capital cities on the continent, but we have now left the main pedestrian street and we are heading to the Kremlin of the city, the fortress that overlooks the river. Unlike the Kremlin in Moscow, it is actually free to enter the grounds here, but we're trying to figure out how to get up onto the old walls of the fortress. I believe we can get a ticket and then you can do a full 360 around the 13 towers. Is it open?
I think so, they got heavy old doors. For the wall?
Two ticket?
Here? For two, please.
Круг или половина?
Oh, you can do a full
Or half?
or half?
We do half.
Half.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Meters.
1 kilometer?
In now Ivanovskaya Tower, exit.
Oh, you can leave from
Yes.
here.
But in total it is 2 kilometers.
2 kilometers.
Whole way around.
Kremlin.
Ah, and we do 1 kilometer.
And from here you go down?
Yes. In the up.
You can come down.
Down. Yes.
Yeah.
In Рождественская Street. Рождественская.
That is where the bars, restaurants.
Yes,
on
yes,
The
on
river.
the beach.
Oh, from here.
Yes.
Your English is very good.
My Ruski
My Ruski plakoi. Спасибо.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Спасибо.
We have our tickets, 350 rubles to do half of the old walls, 1 kilometer, or you could pay 500 for the full 2 kilometers. But I feel like that would take too long. But it wouldn't be Russia, would it? It would not be a Kremlin without an old Soviet tank. And here in Russia, the kids are using the old Soviet tank as a climbing frame. I am now sat on an old Soviet tank in Russia in 2025. Спасибо.
Here we go. In here? Okay, thank you. Well, we weren't expecting the worker of the walls of the Kremlin to speak English. He actually recommended us to do the 1 kilometer walk. So the whole walls are 2 kilometer. He said that would take way too long. So we have opted for the 1 kilometer, but it's absolutely freezing because the wind is coming through either side of the walls of the Kremlin. But we now need to just walk around for 1 kilometer. God knows how long this is going to take us.
This is essentially the Dubrovnik of Nizhny Novgorod, and this very fortress dates back to the 16th century, built apparently by Italians who copied the blueprints from Leonardo da Vinci to build this very Kremlin. And now we get to walk on them very walls for 1 blooming kilometer.
This Kremlin is actually really unique because it's built on a very steep hill, and between the highest point and the lowest point there's about 82 meters of elevation. At certain points you get amazing views, like right now we're having a look over the Volga River. You can see the churches and you can see the nightlife street that he recommended to us, which is actually conveniently located where we will be ending our tour.
Nizhny Novgorod is actually the second largest city on the Volga River, and it sits at the meeting point between the Volga and the Oka. And it's starting to redeem itself, you know. We've come up into the Kremlin along the walls, and now I can see the other side. Look at this. The stunning cathedrals, the nightlife street, the embankments along the riverfront. Change my mind. Well, the lower part of the city, it looks really nice with the beautiful cathedrals, but for a bar street, there is not much going on, and we're trying to find some food. You'll find, if you've been in Russia for a few weeks, you will get bored of the food. It is very bland. It has no flavor whatsoever. So we're trying to find something a little bit different, not your typical Russian restaurant. Normally the go-to would be Georgian. Russians love Georgian food.
If in doubt, find an English pub, but if in doubt, also go to a Georgian restaurant. You know you're going to get some good food. We've got 3 massive dishes coming, and we have a baltica.
The beer of Russia.
Cheers. 6 is fine. Thank
6 is
you.
perfect. Thank you very much. Look at this. Spasibo.
Oh, it smells so good.
I have never seen a hachapuri served like that before.
Oh, it's really nice. This is clearly a fancier Georgian restaurant compared to what we're used to. But we have got hachapuri, and I think this is an Imeretian one. It's the cheesiest one. It is so blooming delicious. Oh.
We have ordered way too much food, but this looks unreal. This is a... Ah, thank you very much. Spasibo. Sorry? Oh, so gloves. Oh, thank you. Are they messy?
Yes.
A little bit. Thank you very much, my friend.
One is fine. Thank you.
Spasibo. This is the kadburi, which is the Georgian meat pie from the mountains. I've never eaten before.
It tastes really good.
Beef, lamb, and it's almost curried, and they've just brought us our khinkali, which are the dumplings. It must be really messy because we've got gloves.
The glove is on. Oh my god, that is so delicious. Wow. This is the best Georgian food we've had since Georgia.
Oh my god.
That's why you need the glove.
That's why you need gloves. I just got squirted. I'm currently in a cheese and bread coma, but I feel like Nizhny Novgorod, being a university city, it's pretty hip, so it has a lot of like new start-up restaurants, and the waiter, as soon as he heard that we were English, he was like, oh, please leave a review. Like, I'm not sure they've ever had an English tourist in this restaurant. Well, of course we will, of course we will. He was like, no, if you leave a review, you get a free glass of Georgian rosé, so cheers.
Are you a rosé connoisseur now?
I don't know, it tastes like nice. Red wine.
Rosé wine.
Rosé wine. It's red though, right?
Rose.
Rose. I don't know what wine should taste like, but it tastes pretty good. Nizhny Novgorod has turned into eating too much bread and cheese and getting drunk in a Georgian restaurant. You know, I don't think we've been very fair on old Nizhny Novgorod. We've just had some of the best Georgian food that we've ever had, including inside Georgia. We had some in Moscow and it was very average, but that place, for all of that, it was about 2,500 rubles, 25 US dollars, and this is one of the many embankments. This is a part of the city which makes it great, which makes it unique on the Volga River. Unfortunately today, the weather's terrible. It's starting to rain, it's cold, it's been really windy, so it's hard to do the city justice. You know, I won't say it's the most exciting city in the world, but it's a normal city. If the weather was great, the sun was out, there was people walking along the embankments, I'd probably say Nizhny Novgorod was great, but today it's pretty crappy. The Volga River really shows you the two extremes of Russia. On one side of the bridge, you've got the beautiful old town with the Kremlin and historic buildings, and on the other, where we're staying, you've got the grey Soviet Russia, which the weather definitely fits. But then you have this, just a 5-minute walk from our hotel on the way home, the biggest Lenin statue I have ever seen on Lenin Square, and the once great Park Hotel. This weather is very fitting.
I think this is exactly the picture of Russia that everyone has in their minds. You have Soviet blocks there. You have, as Matt said, the once great Park Hotel, which still looks really busy.
It looks horrible, but I love it.
It does. And then you have this mammoth Lenin statue with, I think this is like a wartime one as well.
I presume they're the workers, the soldiers.
They have the hammer and sickle, and yeah, like if you were to ever imagine what Russia looks like, this is it.
Oh, good morning. It doesn't look like the weather in old Nizhny Novgorod is any better today. We're going to do our best and find something interesting to do in potentially Russia's worst city. We've been planning all night the rest of our Trans-Siberian trip, which again isn't the easiest of tasks. There isn't many trains running. We can't book them because foreign cards are banned. But this is our hotel. I think it's called the Lower Hotel, which when we booked we thought was going to be terrible. It was like the cheapest one, £30 a night, but it turned out that our little attic, it's a little bit messy right now, was pretty nice. The only problem in all the hotels in Russia in 2025 is the internet, because you've got to use a VPN to get onto Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube. It seems really, really slow, so you can't get online properly to book things, plan things. But anyway, we've still got another day in the the beautiful city of Nizhny Novgorod.
Следующая станция Volga.
It was a great find, the Lower Hotel. The photos on Ostrovok, the Russian booking site, made it look terrible. It was a real lottery, one of the cheapest in the city, but it turned out that we got a gym, coffee station, our own little attic, a pool table. I think it could be Nizhny Novgorod's greatest hotel, but we have just jumped on the metro to the outskirts of the city, because the city of Nizhny Novgorod, when it was known as Gorky back in the Soviet days, it was famous for its factories, and we wanted to investigate and explore some of the old factories. Obviously that's not so easy, but we did find one that is still in operation, the Ariel factory, which makes Christmas toys.
To be honest, we aren't even sure if Ariel is going to be functioning today, because as you can see, quite a lot of the Soviet factories are no longer in use. There is this one though that's puffing out some...
Net zero hasn't hit Russia yet.
Yeah, no net zero here, but we have heard that they have like a museum and a shop there, so if it's open, we're hoping we can just pop in and have a look at the Christmas decorations.
So it should be somewhere around here. You've got all of the other old factories. I think that actually might be a fire station, so I probably shouldn't be filming, but fingers crossed they let us in, because apparently they still use like the old glass blowing methods, and if they're in a good mood, you know, first British tourists to visit the Christmas tree factory, they might show us around and explain the methods that they've been using for nearly 100 years. It has got to be in here.
Well, honestly, I was not expecting that. This very grey Soviet factory area having Christmas trees on the wall, and there's a little sign up there that I think says Ariel in here. So now we've found it, we just keep our fingers crossed that we can actually go inside. This doesn't look Soviet at all. It's like we've just been transformed into a Christmas ski village. They've got lights up, they've got Christmas trees outside. It feels very weird to be like in April, end of April, celebrating Christmas, but where do we go in? Okay. Oh my god. Some flashing lights. How are we doing? Oh my god. It's Christmas summer. Oh. This is like a Christmas wonderland. Oh my god, this is so cute. Okay, so this is the shop. I believe they have a museum. Is that Russian Christmas songs playing on the top there? This is so cool.
Hello. Здравствуйте.
Морозский покой?
Так, можем ли мы пойти в музей, пожалуйста? Сегодня нет экскурсий. Сегодня, к сожалению, нет экскурсий.
Unfortunately, there's no excursions today. Oh no! We have come all the way from England.
Can we look?
Can we just look?
А 2 мая...
Sorry.
А 2 мая вы еще будете здесь? Будут экскурсии?
No.
No?
No. She said on the 2nd of May, will you still be here?
No.
My god, what a sweetie. Okay, so there are no excursions. They don't start for another
It's
few
not a
days.
museum, it's
not a
the actual
museum.
factory.
It's an actual workshop. I think we got a little bit confused. But anyway, basically what they do is they use traditional glass blowing techniques to make these gorgeous baubles, which are really, really expensive, by the way. But the intricate details are amazing. Normally you can come and do a workshop and they show you how they paint them as well, which is such a shame, but it's not a wasted journey. We get to look at all these beautiful Christmas decorations.
These Christmas tree decorations since 1936, in the height of the Soviet Union. Apparently they export them to up to 21 different countries. They are in high demand because of the unique techniques that they use, and apparently they sell out like this. So the only place that you can guarantee to get one of them is to come to Nizhny Novgorod, to the factory, and purchase one yourself.
Which is your smallest Christmas decoration?
Какое у вас самое маленькое рождественское украшение?
Really small.
Вот рождественское.
We are worried that they might break, so we are looking for a super small one.
Поэтому ищем очень маленький вариант.
Ooh, we might have one. Can't come here and not buy one.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's still quite big, isn't it? Oh, look at the detail. Oh. And these are all hand painted?
И все это ручная роспись.
Google Translate is so fun.
И ручная выдувка.
And hand blown.
Wow.
Wow,
For
so cool.
100
Really
years.
cool. Oh, wow. Is that a penguin? Or a robin? Oh, it's a robin. Oh, it's a penguin.
A Soviet
at first.
robin.
A Soviet robin. We have Soviet telephone. And then we have this one. I'm just slightly worried about the detailing of these, so I feel like maybe if we get one,
Keep it simple.
keep it simple. Сколько это стоит? Here's my numbers.
800 рублей.
800.
800 рублей.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's a great price.
Really good price. Okay, this one is perfect. So they have been making the Christmas decorations since 1936.
Финских украшений с 1936
Oh, a real Soviet Christmas factory.
Cool.
С 1936 года работала промысловая артель, а фабрика «Ариэль» переняла традиции этой фабрики.
In 1936, Artel was operating, and the Ariel factory adopted the traditions of the factory. Very cool. Spasiba. Perfect. We have the information of the Soviet factory. Thank you.
Спасибо. До свидания.
До свидания.
We might not have been able to see the factory, but it was cool to go inside the museum and purchase our very own slice of Soviet history. It's crazy to think that this city was completely closed off during the Soviet Union because of all the factories, and now we have one of the products produced in said Soviet factory. This will hang on our Christmas tree. It will have pride of place. It's actually really interesting. We've headed back into the center of Nizhny Novgorod, and compared to the other Russian cities and towns that we've visited, this seems to be the one with the least Western brands. I don't know if that is due to the sanctions, because I don't know if there was McDonald's and things like that before, but walking through the main pedestrian street, you don't notice anything from the west. But we have walked back down to one of the embankments on the Volga River because of these stairs behind me, the Chalov stairs, built back during World War II, and apparently there is 400 to 500 stairs going up and obviously coming back down. It originally was built as a bomb shelter, and because of the bomb shelter, the land and the water just kept sliding down, so they decided to build these very stairs on top of said bomb shelter. And originally they wanted to have leaders of the Soviet Union all the way up it, but I presume back during World War II they had other things to deal with.
These stairs actually really remind us of the ones that we've seen in Odessa in Ukraine, and they're actually the longest stairs in Russia. We've already come down, my legs are shaking, we now have to go all the way back up. How many stairs did you say there were?
Get counting.
Oh.
I don't recommend going all the way down and all the way up in one. The stairs in Odessa had like a funicular that you could pay $1 for to shoot you all the way back up to the top. But Nizhny Novgorod is known as the sunset city because it has so many spots overlooking the Volga River. This, of course, being one of them. The views are incredible. Somewhere over there is actually a cable car that we were hoping to take to the town of Bor, but unfortunately, because the weather has been so bad here, it's either been raining, cloudy, or today it's just too windy, so the cable car isn't running. But you got some great views of the Kremlin above us, the river behind, and of course, even on the stairs, the old Soviet hammer and sickle.
Honestly, from up here, I do not know how the people from Bor get over here, because we can't work it out. If the cable car's not running, we can't work it out. But the cable car's actually the longest in Europe, or has the widest width, something like that, 800 meters over the Volga River. It would have been so cool. It's 15 minutes, it costs less than 100 rubles, so less than £1 English, and it takes.
It's the most Soviet looking town as well.
Absolutely gutted, but instead we'll have to have a beer and some food.
If the weather was good, I think Nizhny Novgorod could be perhaps Russia's greatest city, because the town of Bor, if we had got the cable car across to it, in 2020 there was a local gentleman, an extreme communist, that erected a statue of Joseph Stalin. So I wanted to get the cable car across, go to the strange little town of Bor and see probably the newest erected statue of Joseph Stalin in the entire world. Instead, I think we're going to go and have a Siberian burger. Honestly, Google Translate saves your life in this country. I knew the language barrier would be difficult. I didn't expect this difficult. I thought that in Nizhny Novgorod, because it's a university city, you'd find some young, hip youngsters that can speak English. No, they blooming can't. It's the hardest country in the world that we have travelled to for communication. English speaking, it's not here, not in Moscow, not in St. Petersburg, but we have got a Baltic Porter, 7%. It's going to blow my socks off. That is pokey. That is a strong pokey beer. We have 2 Siberian burgers, whatever that means. We just have to point at the menu of burgers. It's in Russian, so who knows what we'll get.
2 Siberian burgers. I literally do not know what the difference is, but I tell you what, I'm absolutely starving for that. So we've got a Siberian sauce, pickles, onion, lettuce, and these homemade bread buns. It's really nice. It's not bear, it's not some crazy animal, it's definitely beef. The sauce is delicious. 400 rubles, less than £4 English.
for a giant Siberian burger. It's very good actually. I walk past it every day, and the intrigue of the sign that said Siberian burger was too much. I still don't quite know what makes it a Siberian burger. It was good. Well, that was Nizhny Novgorod. Somehow, I don't think that we will be coming back, but the Trans-Siberian adventure today continues, sort of. The number one problem, there are no trains in Russia at the moment. It's the May holiday, and all of them have sold out. So it's not very Trans-Siberian, because the only thing heading east out of Nizhny Novgorod today was a bus. So we've got to head from Nizhny Novgorod to Kazan on one of these for the next 6 to 7 hours. The plan is to get all the way to Siberia on the Trans-Siberian Express. We now, after getting the bus, will have 1 day in Kazan, and then tomorrow night we'll be catching the train from Kazan to Yekaterinburg, where the adventure may end because our visa is getting very close to expiring. I don't know what bus we got to get. I just hope it's not this for 7 hours. Some Trans-Siberian adventure. I have never been so relieved in all my life. Someone booked the tickets for us online, and they said, "Are you sure you want to do this? It's going to be a Marshukra, which is a minivan for 7 hours," but it is not. We have a coach, and it's going to get us east, get us to Kazan, and our mission of getting all the way from Moscow to Asia to Siberia is still on. First we need to drop our bag. Russians love to push in, and they have no understanding of personal space.
Everyone's pushed in and out the back of the queue. This is a big bus. Hello. Familia. Bus. No whiskey, sorry.
I translate.
Thank you. 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Казань, да?
Yeah, Kazan.
Так, пятое.
Yeah.
Пятое, шестое.
Шестое.
Спасибо.
Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you, my friend.
Как у вас?
Goodbye, Sky. I don't think we've been getting on this without his help. But the road to Siberia. Oh. We are almost 4 hours in, and we're not even halfway. Who thought this was a good idea to do an 8-hour bus journey, maybe 9, maybe 10, across Russia? I don't even think we would have got on if it wasn't for that young boy. The lady didn't have a clue what to do with us, so he did restore our faith in humanity. But this was, I think, 1,000 rubles, so $10, so it was always going to be pretty crap. I just didn't realise this crap, considering there was no trains running from the 6th largest city, Nizhny Novgorod, to Kazan, the 5th largest city in Russia. The only way was this and our beautiful toilet spot in the middle of nowhere. We will do. Thank you, my friend. Take care. Oh, and after almost 7-8 hours, we have made it to the home of the Tatars. 7 hours, so that wasn't actually too bad. And our friend Will from Ufa, he's got another 500 kilometers to go, so probably a 5-6 hour journey. Let's book a taxi so we can get to our hotel, drop our bags, and tomorrow explore Kazan. Thank you very much. Спасибо. Will from Ufa, honestly, you are an absolute legend. The nicest man. So he helped book us a taxi, but we didn't realise that he also paid for the taxi. So if I ever come to Ufa, Will, I owe you a beer, but we have now made it to our hotel. It's not the best. This cost us £70 for the night. There seems to be some sort of event going on in Kazan the next couple of days, so we can only do one night, because from tomorrow night the cheapest hotel was about $300-400 US, but we made it and the trip across Russia continues. If we didn't make that bus today, or weren't allowed onto that bus, it would have ended, because we would have had to fly out of the country. We only have 3 or 4 days left on the visa. So tomorrow we explore Kazan. Tomorrow evening we get the Trans-Siberian Express to Yekaterinburg, and then from Yekaterinburg we probably leave. It's gonna be stressful, but I'm sure it's gonna be fun in our little single prison beds for 70 blooming pounds. Absolute rip-off. Anyway, we made it. We're continuing our Trans-Siberian Express journey, sort of, without getting the train. We'll see you in the next one.